In the quaint, secluded town of Eldritch Hollow, nestled between the whispering forests and the somber mountains, a dense fog rolls in with the setting sun, as if the night itself breathes a chilling mist into existence. The townsfolk, bound by superstition and tales passed down through generations, speak in hushed tones of a creature that dwells within this fog, a spectral entity born from the melding of ancient woods, forgotten gods, and the restless dead. This tale, a tapestry of fear and mystery, weaves the story of those who dared to confront the creature in the fog. Eldritch Hollow was always a place out of time, where modernity seemed to glance off its edges like light off the surface of a murky pond. When Alex Carter, a writer fascinated by the occult and the unexplained, arrived in search of inspiration, the town presented itself as the perfect backdrop for his next masterpiece. The fog, a constant companion, shrouded the town in a perpetual twilight, lending an air of suspense and foreboding to its ancient streets. The townsfolk, a tight-knit community of secrets and silent pacts, initially regarded Alex with a blend of curiosity and suspicion. He soon learned of the creature, a being they referred to only in whispers, as if fearing to invoke its attention. Descriptions varied. Some claimed it was a ghastly specter with eyes like hollow pits burning with a ghostly fire, others a formless shadow that whispered madness to those it chose to haunt. Despite the warnings, Alex's intrigue only deepened. The fog and its master called to him, an irresistible lure for his hungry imagination. Armed with a lantern, a notebook, and a defiant spirit, Alex ventured into the foggy embrace of the night, determined to uncover the truth. The fog, thick and unyielding, seemed to cling to him, its cold fingers probing, searching, as if it were a living entity. Shapes moved at the edge of vision, fleeting glimpses of something other, something that was neither man nor beast. Whispers filled the air, a cacophony of voices that spoke in tongues long forgotten, each step forward a descent into a world untethered from reality. In the heart of the fog, where the light of his lantern faltered against the oppressive darkness, Alex found it, or perhaps it found him. A creature of nightmares, its form ever shifting, a mosaic of all things that dwell in the shadow of fear. It had no face, yet its presence bore down on him with a gaze that pierced his soul, a window to a realm of torment and madness. Its body, a swirling mass of fog and shadow, seemed to absorb the light, a black hole from which no hope could escape. The creature spoke, its voice a symphony of despair, weaving tales of sorrow, of lives consumed by the fog, of a curse that bound it to this place, a guardian of a gate that led to realms beyond human comprehension. It spoke of Alex, of his quest for knowledge, of the darkness within him that mirrored its own. In its words, Alex saw not a monster, but a prisoner of circumstance, a sentinel standing watch over horrors that must never be unleashed upon the world. With dawn approaching, the creature offered Alex a choice: leave and forget, returning to the world of light and ignorance, or stay and embrace the darkness, becoming a part of the fog, a keeper of secrets in exchange for knowledge beyond mortal ken. The decision weighed heavily upon him, a choice between two worlds, each with its own allure and terror. As the first light of dawn pierced the fog, the creature faded into the mist, its form dissipating like smoke on the wind. Alex, standing alone in the clearing, felt the weight of his decision. He chose to leave, to return to the world of the living, carrying with him the tale of the creature in the fog, a story of darkness, but also of understanding, of the thin veil that separates fear from fascination. The town of Eldritch Hollow slowly awakened, untouched by the night's revelations. Alex, forever changed, departed with a new story to tell, one of a creature not of nightmares, but of a guardian of the threshold, a reminder of the mysteries that lie in the shadows, waiting in the dense fog of our fears. The tale of Alex Carter and the creature became a whisper on the wind, a story that flowed like the fog through the streets of Eldritch Hollow. Yet, as with all tales of shadow and mist, it began to morph, to grow, ensnaring the minds of those who heard it with a mixture of dread and intrigue. The creature, once a specter of fear, now wore the guise of a guardian, its story a beacon for those who sought the mysteries that lay beyond the veil of reality. Months turned to years, and the fog of Eldritch Hollow grew denser, its whispers louder, as if calling to those who had once braved its depths. Alex, now a celebrated author, found himself drawn back to the town, compelled by dreams that spoke of unfinished business, of a pact not fully understood. The fog welcomed him like an old friend, its embrace a cold reminder of the night that changed everything. As Alex ventured once again into the heart of the fog, he found that the boundary between his world and the realm of the creature had blurred. The town, its people, even the very landscape seemed to shift and change, caught in a dance between two realities. And there, in the center, stood the creature, its form clearer now, a mirror to the soul of the town and its inhabitants. The creature revealed the truth of the pact. It was not a choice between two worlds, but a bridge. Alex had become a part of the fog, a conduit through which the worlds could meet, share, and understand. His stories, fueled by the knowledge granted by the creature, were not just tales of horror, but lessons in the balance between light and dark, fear and curiosity. Eldritch Hollow transformed, no longer a town shrouded in fear, but a place of pilgrimage for those seeking to understand the mysteries of the fog. Alex, with the creature by his side, became its chronicler, a guardian of the threshold between worlds. The fog, once a curtain hiding the unknown, was now a gateway, inviting those brave enough to step through and embrace the unknown. The creature in the fog, a being of darkness and light, became a legend, a symbol of the journey into the unknown that lies within us all. Eldritch Hollow, once a small, forgotten town, stood as a testament to the power of stories, of the thin line between fear and fascination, and of the eternal dance between the human spirit and the mysteries that lie just beyond the fog. In the end, the tale of Alex Carter and the creature in the fog was not just a story of horror, but a parable of understanding, a reminder that within the deepest shadows lie the greatest truths, waiting for those daring enough to seek them out. In the heart of a forgotten town, nestled between creeping woods and whispering winds, stood the crumbling remains of the Ravenscroft estate. Its history was soaked in tales of despair and darkness, making it the perfect setting for the curious and the brave to meddle with the unseen. It was on a night where the moon hung low, shrouded by a veil of clouds, that a group of friends, led by an insatiable thirst for the unknown, decided to unearth secrets best left buried. The friends, each carrying their own reasons for delving into the occult, gathered around a worn-out table in the mansion's dust-choked library. The air was thick with anticipation and the faint scent of decay. Candles flickered as if hesitant, casting long shadows that danced upon walls lined with books that whispered secrets of their own. At the head of the table sat Eleanor, a self-proclaimed medium with eyes that seemed to look beyond the veil of reality. With hands joined and breaths held, the séance began. Eleanor's voice, a melody of confidence and fear, called out to the spirits of Ravenscroft. The words seemed to hang in the air, heavier than the silence they broke. For moments that stretched like hours, there was nothing. Then, a chill swept through the room, gripping each heart with icy fingers. The candles sputtered as if strangled by an unseen force, throwing the room into a dance of shadows and light. A voice, not of this world, whispered from the darkness, its words a tangled melody of sorrow and rage. The air thickened, heavy with the scent of storms long past. The table beneath their hands trembled, as if the very house was awakening. Fear crept into their hearts, a vine twisting and turning, choking bravery and replacing it with dread. Eleanor's voice wavered, but she pressed on, demanding the spirit reveal its purpose. The answer came not in words, but in a vision that crashed upon them like a wave. The room vanished, replaced by visions of the estate's bloody history, of lives twisted by sorrow and madness, ending in a darkness so pure it seemed to swallow light itself. As the visions faded, they found themselves back in the library, the air now heavy with a sense of foreboding. The voice spoke again, its tone mocking, revealing itself as a spirit not called upon, a creature of darkness that the séance had unwittingly freed. It spoke of a curse, one that lay upon the estate and now upon them, for it sought vengeance for centuries of imprisonment. Panic erupted. The friends, led by fear, attempted to flee, only to find the mansion had changed. Corridors twisted upon themselves, doors led to nowhere, and the darkness seemed alive, whispering promises of despair. They were trapped, pawns in a game they did not understand, in a house that was no longer just a house but a prison shaped by malice. One by one, the spirit toyed with them, weaving illusions that preyed upon their deepest fears, turning friend against friend until trust was but a memory drowned by suspicion and fear. It was in this chaos, this orchestra of terror, that Eleanor realized the truth. The spirit was not just seeking release, it sought a host, a body through which it could walk the earth once more. With a plan that was equal parts desperation and hope, Eleanor guided her friends in a final ritual, not to banish the spirit but to bind it once more. Words of ancient rites filled the air, battling the darkness with light, fear with courage. The spirit, sensing its fate, unleashed its fury, a storm of shadows and malice. As the last word of the ritual was spoken, a silence fell, deep and absolute. The mansion, released from the grip of the darkness, returned to its somber decay. The friends, forever changed, emerged from the Ravenscroft estate as the first light of dawn crept over the horizon. They had faced the darkness and survived, but the price was a tale that would haunt them for all their days. The seance had gone wrong, not just unleashing a spirit, but revealing the thin veil between the living and the dead, between sanity and madness. Ravenscroft stood silent once more, a sentinel to secrets best left unspoken, a reminder of the night when the veil was torn, and something sinister walked the halls. The aftermath of that harrowing night left its mark not just on the physical world but also on the souls of those who dared to pierce the veil. The friends, once bound by curiosity and the thrill of the unknown, found themselves adrift in a sea of unspoken fears and memories too painful to share. Each carried the burden of their experience, a weight that pressed down on them during the lonely hours of the night when the shadows seemed to whisper secrets known only to those who had glimpsed beyond. Eleanor, whose hands had once called forth the darkness, now found them trembling with the memory of power too vast and malevolent to comprehend. She withdrew from the world of the occult, her books and talismans gathering dust in the corners of her room, silent testimonials to a curiosity that had once burned brighter than the candles that lit their seance. Yet, in the quiet moments, when the wind howled like the voices of the damned, she wondered what other secrets lay hidden, waiting for the brave or the foolish to uncover. The Ravenscroft estate, its curse seemingly bound once more, became an enigma, a story whispered in hushed tones to frighten and to warn. Yet, for those who had survived its halls, it was a constant shadow, a place where their deepest fears had been given form and substance. They avoided the woods that surrounded it, the path that led to its decrepit gates, and the town that lay in its shadow, for each held memories too painful to bear. But darkness is patient, and evil does not rest. Whispered rumors began to spread once more, tales of light seen in the windows of the Ravenscroft estate, of laughter that echoed through the silent woods, and of shadows that moved with purpose. These stories, dismissed by most as the fanciful tales of those who sought to scare or to entertain, reached the ears of those who had survived that night. They knew all too well that some tales held a kernel of truth, a seed that could grow into a nightmare. Compelled by a sense of responsibility for what they had unleashed and what they had bound, the friends came together once more. They were older now, their faces marked by the lines of sleepless nights and their eyes reflecting the depth of their experience. This time, they sought not curiosity but redemption, not the thrill of the unknown but the hope of putting to rest that which they had disturbed. Their return to the Ravenscroft estate was a journey fraught with apprehension. The woods seemed to watch them, the path to remember their steps, and the house to await their return with an air of malevolent anticipation. They found the estate changed, not just in the wear of time but in the atmosphere that hung over it, a palpable sense of waiting, of anticipation, armed with knowledge painfully gained and with the determination to correct their past mistakes. They entered the mansion once more. The ritual they had planned was one of closure, of sealing not just the spirit but the gateway they had inadvertently opened. It was a ritual that demanded everything from them, a sacrifice of blood and spirit, a binding of their wills to the fabric of the estate. The night was a tempest, a battle not just against the spirit they had freed but against the very darkness itself. The mansion became a labyrinth of horrors, each room a testament to the estate's bloody history, each shadow a cloak for the malevolent forces that sought to break their resolve. But amidst the darkness, there was light, their unity, their shared purpose, and their unwillingness to succumb to the fear that sought to devour them. As dawn broke, casting its light upon the Ravenscroft estate, the friends emerged, weakened but triumphant. The spirit was bound once more, the gateway sealed by their sacrifice and their will. They had faced the darkness not just outside but within, confronting their own fears and doubts, and in doing so, had found a strength they did not know they possessed. The Ravenscroft estate stands silent now, a monument to both human folly and courage. The friends went their separate ways, each carrying the scars of that night but also a sense of peace, knowing that they had faced the darkness and prevailed. They are reminders that while curiosity can lead us into the shadows, courage and unity can lead us back into the light.